Hello, today we're going to be cooking a French pizza. It's called Tarte Flambee, or in German, FLAMMKUCHEN. I'm pretty sure that's how you say that, but I'm not really sure. Now, it's really simple. It's one of the best tasting pizzas you're going to have, if you want to call it a pizza. First, we're going to start off with the dough. For this, I'm going to have the recipe inside the description. It's going to be flour, salt. This isn't really correct there, buddy, so why don't you not do that, okay? Okay. So you take all the dried ingredients, slide them right into the mixer. Well, you can also do this by hand if you'd like to, but I'm going to use the machine because I have one. Just go ahead and mix these up to incorporate all the ingredients inside. This will just take a couple of seconds, just to make sure all the dried ingredients are mixed together. Turn off our little machine. We're going to come over here now and we're going to get the liquid ingredients. They're going to be water and oil. Now I'm going to go ahead and measure the water. It's going to be lukewarm oil. I'm going to use lukewarm water, which I have here. And I'm going to use 160 milliliters, which is also 160 grams. Because water, whether it's milliliters or gram, it's pretty much the same. There's 160. Okay, there we go. And we have 1 tablespoon of oil, I'm pretty sure. Yes. So here we're going to come over here, turn on our mixer to 1. With as full speed, you can also do this by hand. Go ahead and add our oil. Then we're going to add our liquid. Slowly add the liquid. Get a little faster mix. Now we're going to mix this up here with the liquid. We're going to knead for 3 minutes. Then we're going to let it rest for 5 minutes. After it's rested for 5 minutes, we're going to go ahead and we're going to knead for another 2 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and pause right now while this is mixing for 2 minutes. I'll get back to you later. Thank you. Now, while we're mixing this, you might need to adjust the water or flour depending on the humidity of the flour that you're using. You can also do this by hand. I'm just using the machine because I have one available for me. So after the initial kneading of 3 minutes, again, we're going to let it rest for 5. So now is kneaded for 3 minutes. We're going to let it sit for 5 minutes as a rest. And during that time, we can do a couple of things. What I would like to do right now is take our baking dish that we're going to be using. For our baking dish, I'm going to use normal baking dish with a parchment paper liner and just lightly coat it with some oil. I'm going to use some extra virgin olive oil. Not that the flavor is going to matter a lot. You can use butter if you'd like on here. And we go ahead and set that away. Okay, then let it run for 3 minutes until this is done. Then we go ahead and we let it rest for 5 minutes. We're going to go ahead and mix for another 2 minutes. It's going to be kind of loud here. I really don't know if you can hear my voice over the mixer. So we're going to go ahead and pause right now and come back after the 2 minutes. We're back. Our timer went off for the 2 minutes. We're going to go ahead and turn off the machine. If you're doing this by hand, just take it out of the mixing bowl or off the mixing table. Now there's 2 ways to do this after you have your dough taken out. If you're going to make a round pizza, leave it in a round circle. If you're going to make a rectangle like I am, what I like to do is make a little loaf, elongated loaf. Put in there. And we're going to let this sit in here while it's resting for a few minutes while we start the other ingredients. So we're going to go ahead and look at our preheated pan, which I'm preheating now. I'm cooking with oil. Now I'm cooking with gas. So that's all. Then we start a little oil. You can use any kind of oil. You can use butter. We're going to add that to our preheated pan. I'm using a wok. I really enjoy cooking with a wok. Now I can ask my assistant to walk back a little bit while I turn on the ventilator because it's going to be kind of loud. Okay. And we're just going ahead and cook our sliced bacon to start with. To render some of the oil out of it. And break it up. After some of the oil is rendered out of the bacon, we can take our sliced onions. I slice these with julienne, nice thin slices, and we will just add those to our pan, and we'll continue to saute at a high heat. See, I have a higher heat here, I think I will use to begin with. And we will cook these until the onions are transparent. The idea is to start a caramelization process with the onions. So when we throw them into the oven as a pizza topping, the caramelization can finish and you have a very nice, colorful, flavorful onion topping on your pizza. Now while I'm cooking this in transparent, I'm going to put this on break while I'm cooking this. It'll take a few minutes. Onions and bacon are getting transparent now. We're going to add just a small pinch of dried thyme. You can also use fresh. You don't want to overpower it with the thyme. I made that mistake before. I'm going to take black pepper. You use black pepper to taste. I'm using an electric pepper mill, but you can use any kind of pepper you would like. Okie dokie. That's probably got enough there. And we're going to put a little salt. I'm going to start off with about a third of a teaspoon of salt in here. The bacon already has salt, so you don't have any more than that. We're just going to go ahead and cook that a little more while we are trying to caramelize or begin the caramelization of the onions, which means that they'll start getting a brown color, which you'll be seeing very shortly here. Now during this time, it's very important to know when you get to the stage where they're turning brown, to turn off the heat. You don't want to caramelize them in your saute pan, or they're going to burn on your pizza. One of the most important tools to have while you're baking, kitchen timer. Okay. Now while we're waiting for this, we can go ahead and take our rested dough. Now you can knead this, you can roll this by hand or with a rolling pin. It's just a small amount of dough here. I'm just going to use my hands to press it out. It helps if both sides are oiled. Okay, so we go ahead and just press it out to the rim. If you're doing this as a round pizza, it's a lot easier than trying to make a rectangle like I'm trying to do here. The flamme tarte traditionally is a thin crust pizza. It's not thick crust. You can make it thick, but for the traditionalists, definitely. Okay, now it's beginning to get the browning. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off and just let the onions rest. Thanks to my assistant, my son Max, for videotaping this with me. Now I'm just going to press it out. Now, you can do here is take the dough and pinch around the outsides like I'm doing. Make a little. You can, or you can just go ahead and leave it the way it is. You know, either way, it's fine. If you want to make a little special design on the outside, this is definitely one of the ways you can do it. Just pinch and roll over, pinch and roll over, pinch and roll over, pinch and roll over. It doesn't take very long and it looks kind of cool when you're done. Also gives a person who's eating a pizza something to grab onto. Okay. Probably in a restaurant they're not going to go ahead and do this for you because it's going to take more time to do this and knead the dough. So it's kind of sloppy, but doing it here though. Okay, then we go ahead and press it out again. Alrighty, it's nice and thin crust, perfect amount of flour we have here. The oven should be preheated, which I forgot to do, which I'm going to do right now. Alright. Okay, we can go ahead. We're going to go ahead and take a break while the oven is preheating. We'll go ahead and add our 5 or 6 dollops of sour cream to our pizza. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just put 6 on here. It looks like that can be evenly spaced out like this. ahead and just spread that evenly. Onto the pizza without going onto the crust. It always seems to burn any kind of sauce in the crust. This pizza does not require cheese, but you're more than welcome to put any kind of grated cheese on here you would like to use. Mozzarella is probably not the best, because mozzarella doesn't have really any flavor. A Swiss cheese or Gruyere, Edamame, something with some flavor would be the ideal type of cheese for this, because it really isn't going to give you any flavor. Mozzarella. Now we're going to take off our browned onion and bacon mixture and spread that onto our sour cream. Okie dokie. Don't waste any of that good old bacon grease. Gotta have that good old bacon grease. Bacon grease is the best thing in the world there. Alrighty, beautiful, huh? Now, spread that evenly. Onto our sour cream. Maybe I could do a little better job than this. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna add a little bit of cheese on here. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of cheese because I just happen to have some Mossdarmer, which is a Swiss type of cheese made in Holland. It's gonna go. Yeah, it's a nice stinky cheese. I'm gonna go ahead and just put a little bit on the top of here. I got these two little boys here staring at this, waiting for it to get finished. Alrighty, that was 3 slices. Yeah, I think we're pretty good there. Okay, we got our preheated 220-degree oven, which we're going to go ahead and slide this into right now. And we're going to set our timer for, I'm going to start off at 10 minutes. Okay? And we'll come back. We will come back. We see we're almost done, so we're going to go ahead and over here and look at the oven. I'm sure it's done. And I was correct. Look at that bad boy there. Go ahead and turn off the timer before it starts beeping. And there we go. This is the Tarte Flambee, or FLAMMKUCHEN, which I'm going to put on the description with the recipe and everything, with the video. And bon appetit. Bon ami.